This is it right here. This is Matthew 11:25. And at that time, Yahushua answered and said, I thank thee, O Father. Now in the Hebrew he said Abba. Lord, when he said Lord of heaven and earth, the word Lord doesn't translate. Well, let me check it. It should translate into the word, this is in the New Testament, it should translate into the word, as the so-called Jews, they'll say Adonai or Adawan. Adawan is like a position of authority over somebody else, you know, like a landlord. If you live in a house, you pay rent. You pay your rent to your landlord. So it's not the name Yahweh. It says, "O Father, Lord, are the one of heaven and earth." That wasn't his name, because thou hast hid these things from the wise and prudent, the ones that are in these high positions, these so-called Bible historians, these back 2,000 years ago, it was the scribes, Pharisees, and high priests. They were considered the wise and prudent, and has revealed them unto babes. And who was he talking about? He was talking about the apostles, which at that time they were called disciples, which disciple loosely translated means student. Then when the Lord left them, they became apostles, meaning they learned, they mastered what they were supposed to master, and they were sent forth.
In the Hebrew, in that same scripture, Matthew 11:25, the word for Lord is Adawan. It's in the Hebrew.
Yeah, because you can tell by the context. That's why I didn't have to look it up and trace it down. You can tell by the context. He said, "Lord of heaven and earth." The word didn't translate into Yahweh of heaven and earth. It's Lord, like a man that's above somebody else. Okay, now I'm gonna go here. I'm just gonna look up the word babes, because he kept it from the wise and prudent and gave this, and he thanked the Father for that. Okay, the word here is
Strong's G 3560.
Napias. The word for babe or babes in the Greek is napias, which means an infant, little child, a minor, not of age, childish, untaught, unskilled. That's why the apostle read in Acts, the 4th chapter, and the 13th verse, the wording was they were unschooled, they were unlearned. So that's what it's talking about. It ain't talking about a newborn baby. It's talking about a baby in this so-called knowledge. But that's who the Most High gave this to. So-called insignificant guys.
Yeah, that's what the Lord. When we read in this Acts 4:13, the word for unlearned was agrammatos. Now, gram or grammatos, that's where you get the word grammar from. You know, in the front of a word usually means unlearned. You know, so they were unlearned in the sense that they didn't have those credentials. You have something, Apostle Ball?
Yeah, this is 1 Corinthians 1:27. But the Most High have chosen the foolish things of the world to confound the wise. And the Most High have chosen the weak things of the world to confound things which are mighty. So that's, when it says the foolish things of the world, that's talking about guys like us, man. We're looked at as being fools because, like we've been saying, we don't have letters behind our names. Like you have a title called Doctor of Divinity, DD. Yeah, which is, well, Doctor of Divinity. In a way, the word doctor means to falsify. So the divinity is really false. It's not. It was not really credited by Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. If it was, the first thing they would divulge is his name. and his son's name, right? Like Creflo Dollar, he has that title, DD, Doctor of Divinity. But when last have you heard Creflo Dollar, if any, say the name of the Most High and his son? He doesn't say the name of the Most High and his son. He doesn't know it. So is his divinity really, truly inspired by Yahweh Shem Yahushai? The answer is no. So in a way, they are doctor of divinity, because the word doctor really means to falsify. That's what it means. But, going back to the scripture, we're the foolish things of the world, and the Lord set us up to confound the wise. All right? Like the college system, like when we're out there teaching, some people come up to us and say, did you guys ever go to college? Did you guys go to college? Did you even finish high school? So, the people of this world, they look at high school and college as being standards of intelligence, education, which is the biggest crock, man. You got certain individuals that never went to college that made, as a matter of fact, J.P. Morgan had a third grade education, and he had a giant company. All right, J.P. Morgan. So that's just the explanation of it. Yeah, we're not. Like you had guys who claimed they were in the truth. They'd make statements like, "You guys should go back to high school and get your high school diploma, get your GED." Kazakh was one of them. That's a thing of the world. That really has nothing to do with the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. And what greater way for the Most High to show his great power than choosing foolish things of the world? People that nobody expected that would amount to anything. All of a sudden, the Lord using his great power, the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushai using his great power, elevated those individuals.
Yeah, because it's an easy thing for somebody that has a great stature or great name, to do something, great, and people would expect that. But here it is, you get somebody that's lowly, that has no training in that aspect, so to speak, as the world deems it, and you see him do great miracles, great works. That's why they marveled at Yahushua when he was 12 years old. That great wisdom that was coming out of this 12-year-old boy's mouth, which at that time, I shouldn't say boy, he was a man. This 12-year-old young man's mouth, because they looked at him like in awe. Because you better believe they kept a tight eye on everybody that was going through those schools. And they never seen any one of these men go through those schools. That's the same thing today. In order for you to be validated in this society, you have to have a diploma, some type of certificate to validate you.
Yeah, one thing about the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushai is the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushai loves to show his power. And a great way of showing his power is in the lowly. This is the book of Romans 9 and 17. It says, "For the scripture saith unto Pharaoh, even for the same purpose have I raised thee up." So Paul is speaking about Pharaoh, back there in Egypt. This is why the Most High raised up Pharaoh. And here's the reason: that I might show my power in thee, and that my name might be declared throughout all the earth. Notice it says his name. All right. Now, the part where it says that I might show my power in thee, meaning when the Lord Yahweh took down Pharaoh. The Lord raised him up, then took him down. So the point is, the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushai loves to show his power. And the great way of showing his power is through the lowly. The ones that are considered the foolish, the unwise. Like, of all the Israelite groups, we're the ones that's mainly hated. Great millstone. So it's a choice opportunity for the Most High Yahweh Shem Yahushai to show his great power through great millstone, the ones that are most hated.
Yeah, I got a scripture, but we're going to kind of change gears. All right, we're going to deal with this flea doctrine. All right. Now you got whatever scriptures come to mind. I mean, if I had time to put scriptures together, So now we got to go by the Spirit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We got to go by the Spirit to get them scriptures out. Them key scriptures to show that. The flea doctrine, as GOCC teaches, that you got to get your passports and you got to hop on the plane. That's what I think. Hey, when I think about flea, I think about a little flea, but I'm talking about fleeing. But that's how when people come against him, a lot of these guys that you thinking about a flea. A lot of these guys that left broke away from this guy Ricard, what you call bubble-eyed blackfish. One of the main reasons was that flea doctrine, and that's what they call it, a flea doctrine. You know. I was thinking of a flea walking around.
I was thinking of an actual flea.
Yeah. Hey, well,
I never heard that before.
But when you put the